My daughter said yes to stepping out of her comfort zone.
Will there ever come a day when you're not holding me together? Never forgotten, never forsaken, never abandoned, not for a second. I am safe in your hands.
I watched my baby girl, my 10-year-old daughter, stand in front of a complete stranger. Her heart is pounding. I know because I'm her mom, I know. Her hands squeezed together like that, with her voice, with her voice shaking. And then she sang. Yes, she sang. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't loud. Actually, we could barely even hear it. You know what? It was brave. I was so proud of her. When she started singing, my eyes were watering. Yes, I got tears in my eyes because I love to hear her sing. And at that moment, I saw something incredible. No, not just in her, but in me as well. Because her journey is my journey as well. It's my journey too. I'm Christy, and today is a little different than my other videos. It's a little bit of storytelling, but it's true story, I promise. My daughter was always shy, always has been, still is, but she's come a long way. When she was small, going to daycare, I started off by sending her to a big daycare. I spent the first month going with her 2 to 3 times a week and spending about an hour at the daycare with her so that she gets used to it because I knew she was very attached to me. Long story short, a couple months later, they told me to pull her out because she would always cry, and actually, they would always stick the pacifier in her mouth. It was a nightmare. Anyway, so I pulled her out. I waited a few months, and then I tried. She was almost a year and a half, and I tried another daycare. This time, it was a home daycare because she wouldn't even eat or drink at the other daycare. That's how bad it was. So the home daycare, again, the lady was nice enough, she allowed me to attend with her for the first month. It started off with a couple of times a week, and then eventually it became like an hour every day, 5 days a week. Because I too wanted to get a feel. I wasn't just going to leave her somewhere with a random stranger without getting a taste of it, like a feel of the person. So after about a month, the lady said, "Listen, you shouldn't come anymore. She should get used to it by herself already, or else she's never going to truly blend in." Why am I telling this story? The lady's husband was shocked the first time he heard my daughter talk. My daughter started talking early, but she's about 2 years old. He thought that she wasn't able to talk yet. And then when he heard her talk so fluently, he was like, "Wow, she actually talks? I didn't know she talks." That's how shy she was. Like she would never even talk a whole lot. So that's just a little preview about why was it so emotional for me when she sang in front of the instructor. My daughter has a nice voice. My mom has a nice voice, a singing voice, and my daughter has something in her voice. So I realized that I should give her singing lessons because a couple years ago she was doing piano lessons, and the instructor told me that it would be good to invest in a voice coach because she has a good voice. She just has to like know how to use it. So I finally decided to go for it because she finally agreed to go for it on the condition that I'll be there with them in the same room. And luckily, I found a coach who accepted, allowed me to be there. But even when I would ask her to sing in front of her dad, she wouldn't, or she would do it with like a lot of. After I insist on her, she has a hard time singing in front of others. However, she always sings in the shower or when she's alone, she's humming. So I know she loves it, and that's why she agreed to do it in the first place. The point of the story is, although she knows that she has a good voice and she's actually capable of singing very well, she gets every note she hits it on the nail. But although she knows that, she's still shy. So the thought of her singing in front of people was petrifying for her. And I always thought it would be impossible. But deep down, I knew she wanted it. And then about a couple weeks after I first told her, let's seriously go look for a singing coach, I was looking and I found a few schools nearby. And I said, listen, if I'm going to enroll you, I'm not going to pay my money for nothing. You are going to do it because they require a month in advance or something like that. Anyway, so I said, if I pay, you're going to attend and you're going to do your best and you're not going to let your shyness stand in the way or stop you. Because she really wants it deep inside, she finally said yes. I knew that she would put in the effort because she accepted. Essentially, my daughter didn't just say yes to singing lessons. My daughter didn't just say yes to standing in a room in front of a complete stranger who was the teacher and show her voice to sing in front of her, and she sang a whole song. My daughter said yes to stepping out of her comfort zone. So I'm not the only one who stepped out of my comfort zone. My daughter just decided a month ago to finally step out of her comfort zone and say yes to singing and say yes to facing her fear. Isn't that amazing? It makes you wonder, Did she do it because she sees that her mom stepped out of her comfort zone? Or did she do it because I was confident enough that she can do it because I saw that I was able to get out of my comfort zone and therefore I took courage in that and I pushed her in a sense a little bit because I don't like to push her to do things she doesn't want to do, but I kind of presented it in a way for her because my mindset is better. I'm able to help her get in a better mindset because my mindset is better now. Is it's set on the positive. It's set on the fact that you can do whatever you want. And I know my daughter is a very smart girl. Lord bless her. She's blessed with a brain. I call her my problem solver. She literally solves every problem in the house. Like whenever I run into technical problems with a laptop or even the phone, she comes and helps. How did she learn that? I don't even know. She doesn't even spend that much time on that. And she only recently, about a year ago, started having I was giving her my old phone, maybe a couple years ago, but I mean, I don't allow her to spend a lot of time on the phone. She's a problem solver. And I know that whenever she wants something, she's persistent. Yeah, that's why I kind of enticed her to do the singing lessons because I want her to find her talents and I want her to capitalize on that. I want her to get better on them because that's going to give her more self confidence. To me, that's very important. And self confidence we can get it any time in life, but obviously the sooner the better. The younger we are, the better it is. It's better to grow with self-confidence. So the day finally arrived for her first lesson. As we walked in into the institution, she held my hand tight and she's like, Mom, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm nervous. What if I don't do good? What if I forget the words? What if I mess up? What if my voice cracks? What if I'm not good enough? And I'm like, you can do it. It doesn't matter. We're here to learn. You're here to learn. This isn't a competition. You're here to learn. So your voice cracks, doesn't matter. You work on that with a teacher. That's the whole point of taking a course. You wouldn't need singing lessons if your voice was perfect. But deep inside, I understood that feeling way too well. I've been there, I still am there. Because isn't that the same voice that whispers in my mind every time I sit to film or every time I go to do research on YouTube? Isn't that the same voice that goes on and tells me you're not good enough? What if people hate your videos? What if you don't succeed? What if you're too boring? What if you're too lame? It is that same voice. That fear of being seen, being out there, being vulnerable, being judged, being disliked, maybe even hated. Luckily, we have a very, very sweet, super sweet and nice and polite instructor. She's so sweet. So it makes the whole thing so much easier. I had to start, and the teacher asked her to sing for her. She hesitated, but she took a deep breath. Then, with the softest, most delicate voice, she began to sing. I watched her push through the fear, note by note, word by word. And the more she sang, the better her voice was getting. She was still singing on a low voice. The teacher told her you have to sing like she still has trouble here. It's too tight because she's not used to it and she's shy and she doesn't want to, she's scared of messing up. But it takes practice. Of course, the teacher gave her a number of exercises to help her open up. But by the end of the song, she was proud of herself, I could tell. And boy, was I proud of her. Boy, was I proud of her. Not in a million years would I have expected that. And get this, on our third course or the second course, I forgot, the teacher told her that there's going to be like some sort of a party. It's a music school, so they teach how to play musical instruments and they offer singing lessons. So she told her that the school is having like a party where the students, whoever wants to participate, those there are some that are going to play the piano, the guitar, or whatever instrument they play. Others are going to sing. So she asked my daughter if she would like to participate, and to my surprise, she said maybe, like that exactly. Maybe, maybe. So cute. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? You're actually going to participate? She's like, she wants to participate. And later at home, I told her, really? You're going to have to stand in front of our room full of people. You can do that? And she said, I want to. Maybe. We'll see. So I was like, wow, what an accomplishment. So listen to this. Courage is not about being fearless. It's about showing up. It's about doing, even when you're scared. Yes, that's courage. So my daughter did indeed teach me something that day about herself and about me. So she taught me that she's way more capable than when I think she is, because I still feel like or think that she's this shy baby girl, but when she wants something enough, she pushes herself and she comes through. Like she's actually totally coming through with the singing. And every time she's singing, last time we sang, her voice was better. It was louder. And the teacher told her, "Good, your voice is louder. You're doing great." She taught me that fear doesn't mean stop or don't do. It means go. It means you're stepping into new territory, into something bigger than you, bigger than what you've ever done before. So I couldn't help but think of my own journey while I was watching her. And even later on, the more I think of it, of how I got out of my comfort zone, how I still battle with my fears, with my insecurities, because we all have insecurities and fears. I started this YouTube channel even though I was terrified. I even introduced myself as Petrified Christy on my first video, literally. I was really scared. I second guessed myself. I wondered if anyone would even care. Who would care? Who cares? People don't care. Why would anyone watch me or subscribe or comment or like or be interested in what I have to say? But just like her, my baby girl, I decided a couple months ago to not care about whether anyone cares or not, to not care about whether I'm going to be hated or loved. I decided to give it my all. I decided to pour my heart out. I decided to allow my passion to take over and be guided by that. I decided to be me and be out there, allow myself. I gave myself the permission to be out there, to start, even if I wasn't perfect, far from it. Even if I'm going to mess up, and we all do. Even if I'm not going to be late. It's enough if I find one or two people that are going to like me and connect and relate. It's enough that I have an impact on one person a week or one person a month. That is good enough. Impact is super strong, is super powerful, is super important, is very valuable. Impact. So, my friend, if you've ever felt like you're too scared to start something or to do something, you're afraid of failure, don't. If there's something that's been sitting on your heart, it weighs heavy, you feel called to do it, do it. If you want to start YouTube, start. Please don't waste years like I did and like many of us do before you finally take courage. Just do it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Strangers are going to hate you? Let them. So what? You won't even know. You get bad comments, delete, block, or take it with a grain of salt. Take the positive in that and realize that this is engagement, even if it's a bad comment. It's engagement. And the more engagement you get, the more YouTube is going to push you. So start. Don't waste time anymore. Time is money. Time is precious to all of us. What if I started 2 years ago doing this, my journey that I'm going through right now, 2 years ago when I really wanted to start? Would I have been monetized by now? I'm sure I would have been. Would I have found my community? Of course, I'm grateful. I already have a small community. I'm very happy for that. So whether it's singing, playing the piano, starting YouTube, or chasing a dream that feels impossible, do it scared, do it imperfect, because it's a learning process. Do it nervous. Just do it. Experience it. Maybe you won't even like it. So it'll be one dream that's pushed out of the way. It's not weighing you down anymore with the what ifs. What if I started? I should start. I should have started. I could have had this if had I started. Just do it and get it out of the way. Either you'll love it or you'll hate it and you'll stop. But at least you would have tried, and you won't live with the regret of not doing it. Because at the end of the day, that's how we grow. That's how we change. That's how we flourish. And to my beautiful daughter, you're braver than you know. I am so, so, so proud of you, my baby. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for liking, for commenting, engaging. Thank you for supporting me. Always happy to see you here, and I'll see you on the next one.